Action.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to happen. I didn't want it to happen, but it did. There wasn't anything I could do about it. There wasn't any way to stop it from happening. I know you'll understand. You do understand, don't you? I mean, put yourself in my place for just a minute. If you were me, you would do the same thing, and the same thing would have happened to you, wouldn't it? Sometimes these things just happen, whether we want them to or not, don't they? I'm really sorry. Can't you forgive me? Stop it from happening! I know you'll understand. You do understand, don't you? I mean, put yourself in my place for just a minute. If you were me, wouldn't the same thing have happened to you? Sometimes these things just happen, whether we want them to or not, don't they? Sorry. Can't you forgive me?
Speed. Action.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't want it to. But it did happen, and there wasn't anything that I could do about it. There wasn't any way to stop it from happening. I know you'll understand. You do understand, don't you? I mean, put yourself in my place for a minute. If you were me, wouldn't the same thing happen to you? Sometimes these things happen, whether we want them to or not. I'm really sorry. You forgive me, don't you?
Speed. Action.
I'm sorry. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't mean for this, but it did happen. There wasn't anything I could do about it. There wasn't any way I could stop it. I know you'll understand, don't you? I mean, put yourself in my position for a minute. If you were me, wouldn't the same thing have happened to you? Sometimes these things happen, whether we want them to or not, don't they? I'm really sorry. Maggie, could you forgive me?
Action.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't want it to happen, but it did happen. There wasn't anything I could do about it. There wasn't any way I could stop it. You do understand, don't you? I mean, put yourself in my place for a minute. If you were me, wouldn't the same thing have happened to you? Sometimes these things happen, whether we want them or not. I'm really sorry. Maggie, can you forgive me?
Maddie, please describe Alice sitting in the chair. Was she wearing everything?
She's wearing very formal attire. She just came from court. She's angry, she's nervous, so she's very rigid and very tight.
So tell me more, give me more details about the clothing. Like, is she wearing a pantsuit or is it a skirt in it?
Probably skirt and like a blouse.
And what color is the skirt?
Black and white.
Okay. Does she have any jewelry on?
No.
Okay.
She has her hair pulled back in a ponytail.
What about her shoes?
Black flats. She's very minimal makeup on. She really just wanted to get there and prove a point, and her point wasn't made, so she's livid. And
What about her hands? Are her fingers
Fidgety.
manicured?
Manicure. No. She's not very put together in her everyday life, but she really wanted to come here to make the point, to prove that she was right, and she wasn't proved right.
Okay.
So she's very fidgety and very, she's very angry about
Okay, take a breath. And then when you're ready, merge with Alice and sit in the chair. Alice, how are you holding up?
I don't even know how to answer that, honestly. I'm angry, so probably not well.
Is the attorney going to appeal? Are you going to have to maybe get a new trial?
Nope. They're letting him go. They're just letting him walk away. Sorry. So no, the trial's over. He gets just.
So you have no other legal recourse?
Unfortunately, my job is done. I could just go home like it's any other day.
When you were giving testimony, how did that make you feel?
I thought I was making my point clear. I thought that they were understanding that that guy is a monster and that he should never see the light of day again. But no, they sided with his lawyer.
What's your greatest fear?
Becoming something like him.
Meaning?
Someone who thinks it's okay to beat a man to a bloody pulp and leave him in a pool of his own blood and just walk away and be able to think nothing else matters. Becoming a monster. That's my greatest fear.
What makes you angry?
When justice isn't served and monsters get to just roam around without any repercussions for their actions.
Tell me about your relationship with your mother and father.
My mother and I were close. We're very close. I don't talk about my father.
And why is that?
He's one of the monsters that gets to roam around without any repercussion.
So you witnessed or experienced abuse in your childhood?
Yes, a few times before.
When you die, how do you want to be remembered?
Someone who helped. Someone who didn't stay silent. Who spoke out about things that were going wrong, regardless if people listen or not.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And quiet on set, please. And action.
This is Jared. Jared is a new member of Wall Street. When you look at him, he's dressed in very formal attire. He's not too dressed up. He's not wearing Van Heusen ties. He's wearing all silk, but at the same time, it's functional dress wear.
So how expensive is this suit?
Pretty expensive. I would say like 30 grand. If you look at him, you'd see he's just serious, very straight to the point. Not afraid to tell you. Very observant, very critical. There's
Tell
a
me
reason.
more about details of his wardrobe. Like, does he have cufflinks? Are they gold or?
He's not yet at cufflinks, but you see his hand-tailored white silk shirt, his undershirt, it's button-up shirt. You look at his jacket, and it's kind of a gray, very, very business-like kind of color. You look at his pants, same color. He's fashion conscious because he's working on Wall Street. So, he has to keep the whole appearance
What about his
together.
hair?
His hair, slicked back with product. He wants to make sure he's presentable. He wants to make sure that he's neat. His shoes are just this nice sheen of black, very slender, very, very cut. And if you look at him, every single part of his suit is just perfect, because he's there to go and make a point, and he knows he's got something other than what most people have.
Does he wear a watch
He wears a watch.
or rings? Any rings on his
No rings. He wears a very expensive silver watch. He looks like the kind of person who used to wear necklaces but doesn't anymore. And what else?
Does he have a pierced ear?
No piercings or anything. He's very straightforward. He's very, I guess you could say, like a straight arrow, but at the same time, he's a huge asshole. Like, especially the way you could tell by his dress, because he's just so, clean and astute, and,
Like Manafort.
a little bit. And
Okay.
nice, very black leather belt with a silver buckle, just to really make a point. Like,
Okay.
he's just very uniform.
And whenever you're ready, sit in the chair and become Jared. Jared, could you tell me your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory is when I realized, back when I was playing water polo back at high school, that everybody else kind of sucked. Just to be honest, nobody was training as hard as I was. And you really need to train, and to be able to be successful, you need to be able to put in the work. And that's what I realized is something that really distinguishes me, is that I can really put in the effort when most other douchebags can.
Have you always been so driven?
Yes, I think that's kind of an insult if you ask me that, but yeah, you can see I tend to try to be driven, because, to be driven is how you be successful in life.
So it's important to win.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever lost?
If I tell you that, you're going to put that against me. So no, I didn't lose. I don't lose anything. For the most part, I'm pretty successful in what I do.
Okay. Do you have a partner or a wife or a girlfriend? Or
Nope, not right now. Business, especially on Wall Street, that takes up a lot of time, and I just don't really have time for distractions.
Okay. How much money do you make a year?
I would say close to $800,000 a year. But of course, if I go and become a if I become a partner of the firm, especially Fannie Mae, I'll definitely be making a lot more than anybody that I've ever known.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you like to go?
New York.
You're already in New York, aren't
Yeah.
you? Okay, so like vacation, anything? Or you don't
Nope.
allow yourself that?
Nope, not really. I think where I'm most comfortable is where I work. And I think with what I do well. I feel comfortable in that. I feel very successful, and I feel very much at home. I feel very comfortable in my skin, unlike most people,
What's your greatest fear?
My greatest fear, to become like you.
Okay. And how do you want to be remembered when you die?
That I was smart enough to figure out that you dumbasses got invested in a very, very big housing bubble, and I saw it, and I took advantage of you guys. Because for some reason, nobody just saw it coming, and I like to make money. I really do.